Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe's Classic Video Games back with another cool pinball repair video for you today. What? He always interrupts me. If you haven't been watching, we've been working on this customer's Williams F-14 Tomcat pinball machine for what seems like eternity. He brought this to us and it was in pretty rough shape, but we have been working through it and getting it a little nicer and a little nicer and a little nicer. And it is up and running, but it's still, the playfield is in very rough shape. So first we did a video showing the condition it was in whenever we got it. So go back and check that one out if you missed it. Then we did a video. We did one video repairing that light up top. We're still waiting on the light bulbs for the other two beacons. But we did a video like on the power supply. We did a couple videos fixing really bad alkaline damage on the MPU. We did a video where we did things in the back box like that beacon there. And today we're going to do a video underneath the playfield. So we're going to see what in the world's going on down there and see how many of our light bulbs work, check our solenoids, all of that stuff, and see if the thing is ready to play. Now, we can't actually play it yet because the playfield is just destroyed. Doesn't look too bad from up top. Now remember, we haven't cleaned or done anything to the playfield yet, but look how bad it is. Right. But it's been christening itself. It looks like almost all of the bulbs work now, and when we started, they were real dim and hardly any of them worked. I don't know what that's all about. But, I'm going to go ahead and pop the playfield up. We're going to look underneath it and slowly work through it and see if we can get all of these bulbs working and get all of the solenoids and all of the switches working. So we'll check all that stuff as we go through. So if you saw the first video, there was all kinds of stuff down at the bottom of it. So this is all the stuff we found. There's components like resistors. These are used for the flasher boards. Those burn up a lot. There's some transistors for solenoids probably. There's an IC chip. There's some plastic keychain sets from Pinball. So if you don't know about that, on some of the Williams games, they would, whenever they printed up all of the plastics, if they had any room, they would sometimes design like a little key fob that you could put on the keys or whatever, to hang on the front of the game or put the key on or whatever. But for whatever reason, there's Pinball ones inside this, and it's an F-14. There's also some Pinball schematics up there. Some fuses. This little cap is probably the cover that goes on the beacon motor in the top. There's a couple unused Mylar half moons. Usually those go in front of the kickers, but the kicker, all of that area is already covered in Mylar. A bunch of bolts, leg bolts and head bolts and stuff like that. Various bulbs and stuff from over the years. A few rubber rings. A bunch of nuts and things that fell down into the bottom. This little plastic piece here covers up the coin switch. There's an old rag. There's a power cord with the end cut off. Whole pile of paperwork. It's all the usual stuff that comes with these. This is a manual for Cyclone. All of those are kind of the same. We used this in the board where we were in the video where we were working on the MPU board. The warranty card, the sticker from the back saying that it's an F-14 Tomcat. It's serial number 106393. A bunch of these little things. Some of these I don't even think go on this machine, but maybe. But these are to tell you how you get an extra ball. These are a bunch of little labels that tell you how you get a extra win a game or whatever. This is some stuff from Game World, Surfside Beach, South Carolina. The game was probably at one point operated in Game World at Surfside Beach, South Carolina. Always neat to find stuff like that. This is a label from a cassette tape, remember those? This is another warranty card. Why would there be two? I don't know. I don't know. So I think some of these are from other games. Here is the gameplay stuff from a Pinball. So I think just the schematics for Pinball might have ended up inside of this so that they would have some schematics to work with. This is the Williams bag that all that stuff usually came in. And then this is the dome that we switched out in the earlier videos. See how yellow it is? Nice and clear now. Ah, isn't that nice? Okay, so I got all this stuff out of there. I'm going to get a vacuum cleaner. We'll vacuum out the inside and keep working through it. Got it all vacuumed up. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out these wires here. In the first video, or in one of the videos, we tracked down these wires. They were soldered to the power supply. So I'm going to go ahead and pull those out. They come up here to, they had a coin meter hooked up. You don't need all that. You know, it's all hacked in. So we're going to take that stuff loose. Less to break, right? It's not original. We're gonna get rid of all the extraneous stuff. So I took all the extra wire off, and so they had it running to the coin switch, and then on the other end it was attached to the power supply. And it was so that they could hook up this little coin meter. The coin meter says 17,595 credits. So we're probably going to have to reconnect these wires that they have disconnected, but we'll get to that later. Also, they had where the lock goes, they had a button to put it where they could add a credit by pressing the button. So we took that off and put it back how it was, and tape the wires back together and put a lock on it. We have, since we put the NVRAM chip on the MPU, the batteries will never die because there aren't any. It should last for a long time, and you can set it on free play. So even if it was to ever fall out of the settings, it's easy enough to set it back on free play. But we will check to make sure that we get where the CoinMax will work too. If you have to, you could hit the tripwire. Okay, so we got that all cleaned back up. I like that. So now we're going to start working on the bottom of the playfield. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to very carefully swap the light bulbs out. Some of them don't work, so I'll go through and very carefully work on each one. And then also sometimes the inserts above the bulbs are dark and dirty and have a lot of soot on them. You can take a little chip brush, like a little paintbrush or whatever, and dust that out. Sometimes you have to do it with some kind of cleaner, but usually you can just kind of brush the dirt out to clean up the inserts so that it looks good when the bulb shines through it. So I'm going to go through and change those out one by one. If you haven't seen it, depending on the bulb and the type of socket, they have a couple different ways that they're mounted. One is with its individual socket. You have to kind of bend it a little bit to get the bulb out. So some of them will be this bayonet style bulb like that. And then some of them will be like this lamp board where you twist the lamp to get the bulb out. If you had to, you can take that whole board out, but it's always soldered on, so you can't really just completely take it out of the machine. But usually you can just change each bulb. I always do it with the lights on, but I can fix the stuff. If I blow something up, I can repair it. You know, I've got a repair shop here, and we've got all the parts and all that. At your house, though, you might want to do it with the lights off, and then turn it on and check every once in a while to see if what you're doing is working. Because you run the risk of, if you short voltage, you know, it's easy to, when you bend this, make it hit something that it shouldn't, you know, the lug of a solenoid or something. And if you short the wrong voltage through the wrong setup. You have the switch matrix that runs all the switches. You have the light matrix that's running all of the bulbs. And then you have the solenoid matrix that's running all the solenoids. So those are 3 different voltages. If you short one into the other, it burns stuff up on the main board. So then you have to go and fix that. So sometimes I'll do it with the lights on if I'm filming it or something. But it's better to be safe than sorry and just do it with the lights turned, with the machine turned off. So I'll go through it and change them. If I run into anything weird, I'll let you know. And then we'll put it in the lamp test mode and see if there's any of them that aren't working, and figure out why they're not working. Alright, so I swapped every single one of them, all of them, and I think they're all working. But we'll lower it and check just to make sure. There was a bunch burnt out on this little board on the bottom that goes at the top of the playfield. But I think we're cool. Let me lower it down and we'll see how it looks from the top. Alright, I think we got every one of them working. Wasn't that big of a deal. And they'll look a lot better with the playfield clean too, you know. What a great light show this thing has on it. So most of those back there were burnt out, but now they're cool. Okay, so I think we'll go into the solenoid test. I was going to go into light test, but you don't have to. They're all, you can see all of them. I'm going to go into the solenoid test and check all of those, okay? So, since they're under the playfield, we might have to mess with them. So, let's see what we got. Display test. We've already done the display stuff. Sound test. All the lamps. There's our lamp that we were talking about. I guess all of that's cool. Single lamps, yeah, you can step through each one singly if you want. Coil test. Flasher 1. That ain't working. Ball release. It's working. Bulb blinking up there, but that's just a general illumination. Alright, so I guess I should be writing this down. Let me get something to write down with. Flasher 1 didn't work. Okay, so I wrote it down here. Flasher 2 didn't seem to work. That says C side like the other one did. Okay, Flasher 2 is not working. The ball popper, boy, it's popping. You hear it? Have you ever seen one this filthy? Flasher 3, C side. Bare, so I don't think it's doing anything. Flasher 4. I'm not getting any of my flashers. But you know that very easily could be all of the bulbs are burnt out. Because most of those are on the top of the playfield and we haven't done anything with those yet. Right center eject. It's doing its thing. Flasher 5. Well, I'll be damned. 2 of them do seem to be working. That also says C side, so that one of our C's is working. I think we just got a ton of burnout bulbs, people. Knocker. Oh, there's no knocker. I know people hate that the knocker doesn't work. Knocker, might have to try to fix that. Flasher 6. Doesn't work. The right eject. You know what? It's sticky. Let me write down it's sticky. Right. Eject. Sticky. Now we're on flasher 7, also not working. Now if I wasn't here to interpret my handwriting, you guys would be in big trouble. Don't worry folks, I can read it. Flasher 8. So I did replace those because they were the only ones under the playfield, and they work fine. Flasher 9, I also replaced those because they were in the back box when we messed with it, and they work fine. Left center eject, working fine. General illumination, so they have a relay on the GI that can turn it all off just for effects, so it looks cool. Upper left kickback. Oh yeah, that's the Yay-Golf kicker. I'm gonna write that down because I'm not so sure that's working. I hear it clicking, but that sounds like a relay or something. Up left kickback. But again, that's a thing that we're probably gonna have to wait till we take the playfield, the top of the playfield apart. Rescue kickback. AC selection relay. I can hear it clicking. Flasher 10. Also working. Dome lights. We've figured that out. Now the red, if you didn't see the earlier video, the red and the blue one we're waiting on bulbs for, but they're good. The left sling ain't doing nothing. What's that all about? The right sling, it ain't doing nothing. But don't they not do anything unless the ball hits it? I guess it should be firing though. Yeah, they're dead. Spare. Pop bumper. Also not working. We got some dead solenoids here, people. The top diverter. I don't hear it doing nothing. Sounds like a blown fuse to me. If you think about it, a lot of the stuff on the playfield is not, the solenoids are not working. Lower diverter, so that's all in this thing. They're not doing nothing. I should write lower diverter. Okay, and now we're back to number 1. So we already did all those. Okay, so that's what we've got. We'll look underneath and see if there's anything obviously messed up on those, all of these playfield ones that aren't doing what they're supposed to do. Now I want you to look at this crap. This is the Yay-Golf kicker, I think. It may be one of the diverters, actually. Yeah, I think it's one of the diverters. I think there's the upper one and the, I think it's the lower diverter. Look at this. They have a red, I remember it didn't work. They have a jumper attached to it. See the wire's purple and yellow? And it's going to, let me get back there where I can show you. They have attached it to the same purple and yellow wire and then wrapped, so they cut the purple and yellow wire, attached that jumper lead to it, and then wrapped electrical tape all around it. I guess they were having, I guess they thought that wire wasn't connecting to it or whatever, so they cut the wire, put a jumper on it, the alligator clip, wrapped electrical tape all the way around it, and then just connected it to the lug on the other side. Come on, people. Come on, people. Come on, people. That ain't how you do it. Come on. Come on, people. People, you gotta, come on, people. You gotta stop this, people. Come on, people. Okay, folks, here's what I did. I took that lead loose that they had on the coil. On the other side where they've got it tied together, if you look really close, it's actually where the two wires went through a connector. So they must have broke them off a connector or something. So I'm going to put them back in that connector. And so originally, the way it originally was, a purple wire with a yellow stripe came down and into that connector, and then out the other side came a purple wire with a yellow stripe. Okay. And then it comes up through this big old bunch of wires here. And you got to be careful you don't mess up your speaker while you're doing this. It comes up through this big bunch of wires here, and this is it. A purple wire with a yellow trace. Now, I can't find a schematic online showing the schematic of the playfield because by this point, they're just so complex. There's so much stuff on it, they didn't really draw them out in the manuals anymore. So you kind of just got to trace it down, right? So this purple wire comes up through here, and then it comes over here, and then it goes through here, and then it comes through here, and then that's it right there, and then it goes up through a hole into the top of the playfield. Now, why would it do that? It must go up there to the Yagoff kicker. And if you pull on that wire, it is broke, and it looks like it's been smashed in half. So the original wire came up and went up into the top of the playfield, I guess to the Yagoff kicker, and is smashed in half, cut in half. So, we got to track it down, right? So I'm going to lay the playfield down, and we're going to start disassembling part of the top so we can get down to that kicker mech and that kickback thing and see what happened to the wire up there. And then we'll put it back together and test them again. Once I unplug that, basically the power is no longer going through any of the purple stuff, the purple with yellow. So whenever you're in test mode, none of those are working now. So we got to get all of that back the way it's supposed to be. Okay, folks, so you have to pretty significantly take all that apart to get to this stuff. Now, I don't know what broke the wires. I can't figure that out, but there they are. They are broke off. By the way, you shouldn't do this really with the lights on. I was just doing it so it looked cool for the video. So let me take this plastic off and we'll be able to see it, and then we can solder everything back together. Okay, so you see what's going on. It's just basically both of the wires broke. So the green wire stays with it, and it's not broke. The purple and yellow wires both attach to that other lug, and that provides power to that coil, and then daisy chains it to the next coil. So when they fixed it with their little jumper wire, the Yagoff kicker never worked because it wasn't hooked up anymore, which means the coolest part of the game never worked. Can't do that. Come on, people. Come on, people. Come on, people. Okay, so I am going to get the soldering iron, turn all this off, of course, strip that back, solder that on there really good, so that that's back in play, and then we'll test the coils again and see what we get. Okay, so we're back, obviously, in test mode. We're checking the stuff out. I want to see if our Yagoff kicker works now. Hopefully. So that is the right center eject. Knocker still doesn't work. That's in the back box, though. Right eject. That's the one I think is sticking a little bit. Left center eject. There it is. Upper left kickback is now working. But you know, those diverters weren't working. The rescue kickback is still working. The left sling still not working. Right sling still not working. Pop bumper still not working. Top diverter still not working. Lower diverter still not working. Okay. Alright, so everything else seems to be how it was. And we fixed the Yagoff kicker. Alright, folks, so we're getting there. We still have to get all the special solenoids figured out, though. So we'll do that on the next video. Leave your comments below. Let us know what you think so far. This one's getting long. That keeps surprising me. This is about the 20th time it's done that. Leave your comments below. Let us know what you think so far. Make sure to give us a thumbs up for taking the trouble to film all this for you. We didn't have to do that, people. We're doing it out of the kindness of our heart. We know y'all like seeing this. So thank you to everybody that's been using our Amazon links. If you don't know about that, there is a link down below to Amazon. If you are going to buy something on Amazon, please click our link first. And whenever you do, it gives us a little tip. So we appreciate everybody doing that. Boy, it's got good music, doesn't it? So we appreciate everybody that's been using those Amazon links. It gives us a little tip every time you do that. So thank you. And check out our website. If you go to our website, you can see all the games that we have available for sale right now. This one is not for sale because we're just fixing it for a customer. But you can see the games that we do have. We also have a parts page on there where we put up some of the stuff that we use to repair our games, supplies and things like that. You can go check that out. We also have t-shirts and coffee mugs and all of our merchandise on there. So thank you to everybody that's been wearing those. We even had a few people send us pictures wearing their t-shirts. That's really cool, guys. We appreciate that. And finally, last but not least, make sure to check out my brother Donnie. The link to his channel is down below. Literally my brother. And if you like watching us work on old pinball machines, you might like watching. Let me do that again. If you like watching us work on old pinball machines, you may like Donnie, my brother Donnie, working on old buildings. We have some old buildings in a historic downtown in an area near here in South Carolina that we bought some old buildings, and we're trying to fix them up so we can rent them out and help revitalize the downtown area. It's really fun. Go check it out. So we'll see you on the next video where we will get into those special solenoids.